So let's talk about the first one, how to make your brand stand out in a new or saturated market. Now, for me, there are three things I've realized that really work, that has worked well for me, that has worked well with a few of the clients that I've worked with, that has worked well with even companies that I've been a part of, as a marketing manager or director of marketing and business development, because I've spent pretty much my entire career really working with startups and small businesses. And there are three ways you can really help your brand to stand out. The first one is to create a strategic brand narrative using content. The second one is to create your thought leadership, again with content. The third one is to build your brand authority. So the first and second, I'm actually going to go through briefly and give examples of those for clients I've actually done it for, including myself. Third one I'm going to save for later because it kind of ties in with the third challenge I mentioned about how you can fill your sales pipeline with limited resources. So let's first talk about creating a strategic brand narrative. Now, a strategic brand narrative is just basically what's the story of our company. What are the things that we value? What are the things that we believe in? What are the things that make us unique and different than everyone else in the same industry or the same market or the same category as we are? And it's kind of a cross between what you think are the things that make you unique and differentiated, but also what your customers or clients think that makes you unique and differentiated. So it's kind of a blend of both. So to give you an example of how you can create a strategic brand narrative using content to generate more sales opportunities, this is actually a client that we worked with called Wuxly. It's a high-end winter apparel brand. And one of their biggest competitors in the market is North Face, right? People in Canada and probably some people in the US, in the colder sections of US, would actually know these two brands, or at least know of North Face. The problem that they had was, how do we really stand out amongst, a powerhouse such as North Face? They really brought me in terms of how to optimize their ad spend to generate more leads. But one of the things I said to them is, you guys are doing a great job in terms of generating leads through the ads that you're running. But the problem is that no one really knows who you are. So what ends up happening is that you have to spend a lot more in ads to get your brand out there, get the name out there, and to drive conversion. So in terms of that customer acquisition cost, you could actually reduce it by focusing on building that brand narrative. So that's pretty much what we did. So we interviewed about 7 or 8 of their customers, kind of finding out what are the things that they love about the brand, what it is that they choose to buy from Wuxly as opposed to a lot of the other alternatives that were out there. And once we gather that data, we're pretty much listed in the top 5. And what we did is we took those top 5 reasons why people buy from Wuxly, and we built out an entire content strategy around that. So a part of that content strategy involved us running this article that we did in Forbes, which it says, "This vegan outwear brand created by a former football player is redefining ethical production," right? Because one of the things that they mentioned was the fact that most is an ethical brand. They don't use animal testing or animal anything whatsoever in their products. So we built a strategic narrative around that. We built an entire campaign around that called Live Warmly, where we focus on those 5 points. So this is kind of a mock-up of our landing page that we did for them, just to really help them to visualize how the landing page will look and what we want to achieve with it. And so we created some video content for them to kind of, bring to the fore what it is that makes Wuxly special, why it is that people want to buy from them. And we ran those ads and we generated a pretty decent, as you can see, you're delivering a 75% conversion rate, 295% return on ad spend. So if you actually want to read the full case study in terms of how we executed and what we did to actually achieve these results, you can go to iCAD Marketing, click here where it says case study, and look for this particular case study where it says delivering a 75% conversion rate.